Living in His Light by David Jeremiah, read by me, Melissa C. Wilson, ordained Minister Wilson. Just so you guys know who's doing the reading here for April the 28th, Living in His Light. Always ask first. Then the men of Israel took some of the Gibeonites' provisions, but they did not ask counsel of the Lord. Joshua 9:14. When contemplating a decision, sometimes people will reason it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. In other words, I really want to do this, so I'll go ahead and correct things later if it turns out I'm wrong. But in the long run, seeking confirmation is best before acting. Through one seemingly innocent bad decision, Joshua created a complicated string of consequences that haunted Israel for generations. After Israel conquered Jericho, neighboring kings sought to go to war with Israel, Joshua 9. Men from a nearby town came to Joshua and asked for a covenant of peace. They pretended to be from a far-off country by dressing in tattered clothes and sandals and carrying moldy provisions as if they had been traveling for months. Joshua and his leaders did a quick investigation and agreed to the covenant, but they did not ask counsel of the Lord. 3 days later, Joshua discovered he had been deceived, that the men were locals who wanted the protection of a covenant of peace. Joshua honored the covenant, but years later, this incident remained a thorn in Israel's side. 2 Samuel 21. Before making a decision, always ask the Lord, is this wise? Is this opportunity from you? I want to seek your permission now rather than your forgiveness later. And it's interesting that this would come up because I was doing some reading just last night. And there's another story in the Bible where someone he was working for someone, and then the person had visitors, and he said, hey, because the visitors were leaving, and it was like a king or something, and he was like, is there anything you need? And he was like, well, no, go ahead. And then when he left, the person who was working for him ran after him. He came down off the chariot and he said, yeah, we're supposed to be having some more people come, so we decided, he wants some more stuff. So he asked for silver and some other stuff. And so then he went back, and his employer was like, hey, where you been? And he was like, oh, nowhere, for real. And then, he was like, oh, did you know I was there in spirit when you went? You know what I mean? Dude could have called him on cell phone if we had cell phones back in the day, if they had cell phones back in the day. But he was there like astral projection. Okay, that's the best way I can describe it from what I read in the scriptures. And I'm going to try to look into that so I can give you guys the details on that. But like where to find it in the scriptures. And then he didn't deal with him too finally with that going on. So let me see if I have enough time to record this for you guys, because it's all coming together now. Reading for today at the same time that this reading is coming up. So if I don't see it right away, instead of having you guys on hold, I'm gonna just do a part 2 to this for you guys. All right, well, part 2 it is.